Today I want to talk about the perpetual search for shortcuts to good information governance, and also be clear about the sad fact that there aren't any more shortcuts here than there are in serious mountain climbing. Now, this isn't to say that there aren't things you can do to speed the process along, most of which have everything to do with logically chunking the work and having the right people take it on. But if you're looking to deal with, say, boxes of records in your office or stacked in warehouses somewhere, someone's eventually going to have to take the lids off and see what's inside. Unless, of course, you're one of the rare ones who's absolutely certain that what's written on the label accurately describes what's inside the box. And of course, unicorns. Now, if my client's a representative, and they are, then the typical state of affairs boils down to what was recently articulated to me as, everybody's really on board with this and has been for a while. But when it comes time to actually do something, they say, does it have to be done right now? The challenge, as you know, is that the people whose input and participation you need the most already have too much work to do and not enough time to do it in. Oh, just ask them, they'll tell you. Can't we get an intern or a temp to go through everything? That's what they say. And I respond by saying no. That'd be a mistake because no intern or temp will have your familiarity with all the documents in your sites and the expertise needed to intelligently deal with them. So those people won't be able to conduct a proper inventory or negotiate a standard vocabulary, at least without requiring so much of your time to train them that you may as well done the work yourself. My recommendations usually boil down to attacking the issues from multiple directions at one time. Organizationally, this means involving people from all across the organization right from the get-go. This is typically a three-part harmony that includes representatives from the operating units, the IT department, and the administration, including members of the senior executive team. This also means simultaneously conducting an information inventory and a metadata vocabulary reconciliation exercise, the idea being that you touch each record only once as you determine what you have, what it's called, how much of it exists, and what you can get rid of. Technologically, this means examining the metadata capabilities, business rules functionality, and general usability of the solution stacks you've already bought and paid for, to identify any features that have been under or unutilized to this point, and to see what gaps you have to fill, either by development or acquisition. This is a lot to keep track of, and keeping the timeline as short as possible requires the same sort of disciplined project management skills as any other initiative you engage in. And like most of those, one of the biggest keys to success is keeping the focus on what your users do day in and day out, and how what you're doing can make their lives easier. Otherwise, it's just another example, in their minds, of a decent-sounding idea being done badly, and being done to them rather than for them. Now, if this sounds challenging, that's only because it is. As I mentioned at the outset, there aren't really any decent shortcuts to getting the job done, and getting it done well. Oh, you can try to short-circuit the records counting, classification, and other grunt work that good InfoGov requires. But when all's said and done, you still have to actually pop the box tops and get on with it. Just as mountain climbers eventually have to load up their gear and head on up the hill. So good luck and get going. And if you need a hand, or even just a sounding board, you know where to find me. I'm Steve Weissman, and that's Perspective Check for today.